Hello, welcome to DIY is my happy place. I'm Amy and today I'm going to be teaching step-by-step instructions of how to pour acrylic paint on canvas. I'm starting out with a canvas that I got and I'm going to be pouring over some plastic lids. As you can see, I have painted on these lids prior, but I want the paint to pour off over the edges. Now, this canvas was something that I previously had, so I just took some wall paint and painted it a gray color to give it a base coat. Now, it's already dry. I'm just showing you what I did. It was just an old dingy canvas that I didn't like anymore, so I went ahead and painted it so that when I do my pouring technique, I don't see that previous paint underneath. Now, what we're going to need to start with, our base is going to be made with Elmer's glue. I have a gallon jug and I'm going to do 1 part glue, 1 part water. So I'm just mixing water into my already gallon that I have that's almost empty. It was about 1/4 of the way. And so I went ahead and mixed those together really good. This is what we're going to mix all our colors with, and it'll make it very slick and easy to pour. Now, I want to mix up some colors, so I've got my different colors of paint. And the first thing we're going to do is add our Elmer's glue and water to a cup. And I want to start off with a white base. And it's not going to need a lot of paint. That's the beauty of this. You don't use up a lot of paint because the glue fills in the difference for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 cups, 3, I'll just put some glue and water in each one of a few cups, and then I'll add some colors. I'm going to start off with white. Now, I know it looks white, but when the Elmer's glue dries, it won't have that pretty white color if you don't add some color to it. Now, this acrylic paint I actually picked up from the dollar store. Kind of got a little bit dry, so I just added some water so I could get all the rest of the color from the total edges of the paint. I don't want to waste any of the paint. Now I also have some unicorn spit stain, and I will put a link below to where you can get that on Amazon, but I love this. It's actually very vibrant colors, and I have a lot of different colors of it, and it only takes a little tiny bit to really add color. So even though the unicorn spit can be a little bit pricey, if you use it correctly, it goes a long way, and then you have a lot of very vibrant colors. So I'm going to start off with gold, and you just mix it up really good with your glue and water. And then I'm going to mix up my white, also mix that up really good. Now, this is absolutely amazing how this can work. It just seems like something that you would do in a kindergarten class, and it's really that easy. I do suggest that you make sure that you wear gloves, especially if you're using the unicorn spit, because it's unicorn stain is what it is, and it really does stain your hands. So you definitely want to wear gloves when you're doing these pouring techniques. But as long as you have gloves on and something to catch the paint underneath, you're going to be astounded how easy this actually is. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is mix up any colors that I find that I want to have in my painting. Now, as you can see, this black acrylic paint that I have is pretty thick and glumpy. So, is that a word? Glumpy? Lumpy? I added some water and thinned it down a little so that I could use every last bit of my black as well. And then once again, stir, stir, stir. And now we're getting to the point where we're almost ready to start pouring. Now, on this particular one, I wanted to show quite a few different techniques, and I'm going to do a few extra colors. It actually would look fine with just white, black, and gold. That would be a really pretty painting, but I want to show a few different techniques, so I'm going to show quite a few different colors. Now, again, we're starting off with our Elmer's glue base, and then we will add in a few other colors. And really, there is no wrong way to do this. What is your favorite colors? What colors would look vibrant on a wall? You can add just a little tiny bit. Now I'm going to use some of my unicorn spit in yellow. As you can see, it's about 1/2 teaspoon is all it takes in order to mix it up and create some really pretty colors. So I'm going to use yellow and orange, and I'm just kind of, oh, you know, purple would be pretty, blue would be pretty, you know, so I'm making the colors as I go. Now for this, it could be really any kind of acrylic paint. You can pick up acrylic paint sometimes at the dollar store. I've noticed that there hasn't been a lot of it there lately, and so I've reverted to my unicorn spit, but I'm sure there's other places where you can get acrylic paint as well. The reason why I like this is because of all the different colors and how vibrant they are. I think I said that before. So as you can see, once you start mixing it, look at how beautiful those colors are. Blue, orange, purple. Love it. All right, now let's get back to our base canvas. That is a recycled canvas. And we're going to start off by making sure the entire canvas, it's completely dry from the paint that I put on prior. We want to get it completely covered with the white, every bit of it. If there's any spot that doesn't have paint, then the pouring won't work. It'll kind of stick and it won't go where you want it to go. So you really want to make sure you get the whole entire canvas covered with the white. Now, I have tried to do this with just like wall paint, white, with the glue to see if that would work, and I guess it could work in a pinch, but it really doesn't just flow around as well as the acrylic paint. So just trust me on that. You're going to want to use the acrylic paint. Now I'm using just a popsicle stick to help spread it around so that every square inch of my canvas will be covered. Now it doesn't have to be completely solid white, because I'm going to be pouring and dipping and turning, and so it just needs to make sure that you have it completely wet everywhere. And then it is very forgiving when we start adding our other colors. Okay, now we're going to really have some fun once we get our white put out and around. Now I did put some brown paper underneath my plastic lids just in case some of it spilled out, but I didn't want to have to get any high-tech anything, so the lids seem to work just fine. Okay, now I'm going to start with black. Now there's no wrong way to do this. It is so much fun to just see what you create. Depending on where there's thicker paint or thinner paint, it will give different looks. And I will say that I think my next one I might do just in white, gold, and black, because I really like these colors together and I think it matches with a lot of things. But as I said before, I'm going to do quite a few colors on this one because I just want to show a lot of different techniques. Now this is really fun. You can just take your one color and make circles, and I just put little dollops around here and there. And the bright yellow just makes things so sunshiny and fun. One thing, if you want to get rid of the bubbles, you can use a hot heat gun, and it'll help just pop all the little bubbles. If at any point you don't like how the paint is grabbing, you can use either a straw or some other type of object to help disperse the paint around. Blowing on the paint also helps to create some interesting patterns. You can also splash some rubbing alcohol on your paint, and that will give some really cool patterns into your painting. After splashing some rubbing alcohol on the paint, it will divert it in different directions when you start tipping it again. As I was looking at my painting, I decided it needed a little bit more gold. So I added some more gold to the center, and then look what it does. You can also create drag lines using other types of objects, like this one is a whisk. I really wanted to be able to show a lot of different techniques in this tutorial. But as you can see, once I created those drag lines and then I start manipulating the paint around, it makes it go even in more directions. And last but not least, you can use a piece of cardstock. This was actually just an old piece of mail, and you can drag the paint along with that. So there's so many different things that you can do to help manipulate your painting. There you go. Isn't that wonderful? It's so much fun to make and create things. I have to say, this has to be one of my favorite DIYs. And after it dries, it looks a little different than it did when it's wet. But oh, how I love it. This I actually gave away as a Christmas present this year. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, share, and I will see you again soon.